should Springbok fans be worried? Is there a crisis right now, an injury crisis in the Springbok setup? Well, first of all, there's a lot of injuries, a lot of key players injured, and in a certain position, the lock position, which probably we don't have the most depth in right now because of the injuries. There's a lot of guys out. Now, before we do get into the video, guys, if you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. This is not just a Springbok channel. I am a Springbok fan, so I do like doing the Springbok videos as well, but I do all the countries. There's a lot of good videos coming out from England, Ireland, Scotland, the Wallabies, the All Blacks. I'm going to be covering all the international games as well. I'm going to be trying to get the player ratings out for most of the tier 1 teams as well every single weekend. So if you are a fan of those countries, give me a subscribe and help the channel grow. I really appreciate all the support, but let's get right into it. Now, who are the players that are injured right now? Well, there's a bit of a long list here, and I'm only really mentioning the players that have played a big role for the Springboks and probably would have played a big role this year as well. We've got Eben Etzebeth, a massive name, RG Snyman, Louis de Jager as well, Jean Klein, Kobus Reinach, Grant Williams, Jaden Hendrickse, Apelele Fasi, Peter Steph du Toit, and Ethan Hooker. Now, let's just see out of those names which guys would have been regulars this year. So, Eben Etzebeth, 100%. And I think he is coming back around June or July. So, he might just miss 1 or 2 games. Not too sure what he'll be like when it comes to fitness, because he also hasn't played this much this year at all after the whole eye gouge incident and after hurting his hip this year for the Sharks. He's only played 1 or 2 games for the Sharks this entire season. So, he'll be honest, he'll be undercooked going into this game, but honestly, he'll probably be fresh, ready for these games, and it probably will take him a game or 3 to just get back into the swing of things, but I still think he will play a pivotal role for the Springboks this year. Now, RG Snyman is out for the entire year. I think that's about confirmed now. I think he hurt his ACL again, or tore his ACL, or something like that again. He is out for the whole season, which is a really big shame. But it might also offer an opportunity to someone younger, one of those guys that have really been standing out in the URC that just couldn't get through the door. They've been knocking on the door for a while now. They just can't get through. And I think you'll realize that this might be a theme in this video going forward. We also have Louis de Jager, injured as well. A bit of a common thing for him, but I think he'll be back for the World Cup next year. But will he even be one of the main guys for the World Cup next year? I'm not too sure. Then we have Jean Klein. I was really hoping that Jean Klein would not get injured. He is one of those guys that I thought, honestly, with the other lock injuries, would play a massive role this year. He is one of those guys I think is very underappreciated, very underrated in the whole Springbok setup. I really enjoy the kind of way this guy plays, the output he does on the field. He leads by example, and I think he could be a Springbok captain on any given day if there was a few injuries and if he was available. So it's very unfortunate to see a guy like him not available as well. Peter Steph du Toit. I think Peter Steph du Toit will still be available for most of the games this year. I think he just had a bit of an operation done, so he should be back, but he might miss a few of the games as well. So we have to, of course, mention some of the guys that will be missing some of the games this season. So just looking at the forwards there, we have Eben, RG Snyman, Louis de Jager, Jean Klein, Peter Steph du Toit. Now that is a very important, experienced group of Springbok players there. All of them are World Cup winners. All of them have played a massive role for the Springboks before, especially Eben, RG, Louis, and Peter Steph du Toit, of course. He's won World Player of the Year twice. But what can they do now to kind of plug those positions in? What can they do to fill those positions in? Well, the good thing about the Springbok depth right now is that, yes, those guys are injured. Yes, they are extremely important players. But the coaches also know exactly what those guys can offer to the team. They know exactly what they're going to get from them. They know exactly what they're going to do when they're at their best. They know exactly what they can do to get those players to their best. This could be a perfect opportunity to give some of those younger guys a really good opportunity, a good run with some massive test matches this year. Obviously, I'd hope for the All Blacks greatest rivalry tour that the Springboks can have their complete full strength team, because that's honestly the tour that we have to win. The All Blacks rivalry, it goes back years, it goes back decades. It is going to be one of the best rugby series we'll ever watch, and I cannot wait for it. It's going to be absolutely awesome. I'm still trying to look for tickets to somehow get there. But that's for another day. I'm trying to find a way to get there. That would be so good, cool to just vlog the whole journey there and all the games there. But I really hope the Springboks can have their full strength team for that one. But what are we going to do for the other games? I mean, there's a lot of players that are putting their hands up that aren't part of the squad, that haven't been part of the squad for many years, that aren't regulars as well. I mean, JJ van der Mesh hasn't been in the squad yet. He's been in the alignment camps. He's having a very good season for Northampton Saints. He's a guy that can really step up right now, show what he's made of, show his skill set. And I think if we are talking like-for-like replacements, I'd like to think that JJ van der Mesh can offer a kind of RG Snyman role in the team that can play from the bench, add a bit of a punch and impact in the last 30 to 25 minutes of the game, add some size, add some skill, add some brave moments. I think he's someone that can do something like that for the Springboks. But if you're talking about Earburn, if you're talking about Lewis, if you're talking about Peter Steph du Toit, there is a few guys that comes to mind. Now, in my opinion, I've said this many times before, Ruan Nortje is 100% the best lock choice right now for the Springboks. He's been the first choice for the last few years now. He's definitely cemented his role as the number one lock choice. I think, honestly, if the whole team is available, every single player is healthy, Eben Etzebeth goes first on the list, and then Arge Snyman goes second in the lock position. I think that's how it is right now. They're pretty much 50-50. And in my opinion, I've said this many times, Ruan Nortje can be the Springbok captain in the next World Cup. I just see it. He just gives me that whole vibe of a Springbok captain, he's got that kind of pride about him. He leads the Bulls by example. He leads by example on the field, and I think he definitely is a guy that will lead the Springboks going forward in many years to come. Obviously, maybe not right now, but I think in the lock position, Ruan Nortje will 100% be the guy starting for the Springboks this year. Now, who else do the Springboks have? If we look at some of the other guys that can play multiple positions, there's definitely another guy that really sticks out, that does come to mind, Ruan Venter. Now, Ruan Venter, yes, he plays 8th man, he plays 7, he can also play a lock. He is a man mountain. He is a huge human being. Now, I do prefer him in the loose forwards, which is why I honestly think you can plug him in number 7 right now, and he will be comfortable. He might even make a very big impact on the international stage. He's physical, he's big, he's ruthless. He fits the mold of a Springbok player very well. So I do think for Peter Steph du Toit, you can have a guy there like Ruan Venter as well. There is another guy as well, which a lot of people will disagree with, which a lot of people for some reason do not like at all. He gives away a lot of penalties, but he's really been a lot better this year in the URC, Evan Roos. I think Evan Roos as well is another guy you can put in the number 7 jersey, as well as Elrich Lowe. Elrich Lowe's played there many times before. He's played in big games for the Springboks as well. What I'm trying to come to with this video, the message I'm trying to send is that, yes, there's a lot of injuries right now. But it's a massive, massive crisis for the Springboks that these guys are injured. But it's also a really good opportunity to kind of increase the depth even more. Now, in the last year or 2 years, the Springboks have really showcased their depth and the players that are coming through. I mean, we've seen guys like Ethan Hooker. We've seen guys like Kane and Moody. We've seen a lot of guys coming through. This just gives more of an opportunity to give those guys that haven't been in the system much to actually get a chance. It'll be really good. It'll be honestly very rewarding for these young guys to get a good opportunity, a good run up for the Springboks. I mean, Ruan Venter deserves game time this year. Paul de Villiers deserves game time this year. So there's a lot of things they can do in the squad. Evan Roos, in my opinion, does deserve game time this year as well. He's been really good every time he's played. Yes, he gives away silly penalties, but I think a guy like Evan Roos in a system, in an environment like the Springboks could really learn a lot. He can grow a lot, and I think having him in that whole environment, in that atmosphere, will just make him a much better player. People were saying the same thing about Jasper Wiese back in the day. Oh, he gives away too many penalties. He's too reckless. He's too aggressive. Imagine Evan Roos can just learn from a guy like Jasper Wiese or a Peter Steph du Toit for a whole year, for an entire season. He will go back to the Storm as a much better player. So there's a lot of good guys to choose from. If I had to choose 2 guys to probably play in the lock position, it would probably be Ruan Nortje and JJ van der Mesh right now. I'm trying to think who else there could be. Emil van Heerden's had a very good year for the Sharks as well. There's a lot of options, but not really one solid option to put there. As I said, JJ van der Mesh from the bench would be a really good option to give some game time, a good run out right now, and I think he would honestly make a big impact. Looking at it right now, probably Ruan Nortje and Ruan Venter in the lock position. If Peter Steph du Toit does come back, you can move him into the lock position as well. There's still Franco Mostert as well, but I would like to see guys that are inexperienced get a bit of a go as well. But moving on to the backline, as you can see, there's 2 scrum halves injured. Now, I don't think they're going to be out for the whole year. We have Grant Williams, Kobus Reinach, and then obviously in the backline as well, you have Jaden Hendricks, who's suffering a lot of concussions recently. Hopefully he can recover soon, because concussions, you can't mess around with concussions. We got Ethan Hooker as well, and I think Jordan Hendricks as well, but I don't think Jordan Hendricks would have been a big part of this season for the team because of the other guys they have. But just talking about the scrum half position, if Grant Williams and Kobus Reinach were not available for that first game against England, I'm pretty sure it would be Embrose Papier and Morne van der Berg to fill in those spots. Embrose Papier has been one of the best players in the URC, not even just the South African teams, in the entire tournament this year. He's built a combination with Handré Pollard. He knows what he can do with him, which might even boost Handré Pollard's chances in the team this year. Morne van der Berg is having a stellar season as well. I know a lot of people are talking about Hashim Peed, but there's guys like Imad Khan as well playing some good rugby. So in the scrum half position, there's a lot of guys which I would be very excited to see get a good opportunity, get a good run out as well. And talking about Ethan Hooker in the back line, I think Ethan Hooker would have played a very good role this year, maybe in the number 23 jersey as well. But there are also other guys like Kurtley Orange, Edward van der Merwe, Zeketelo Siyaya has been called up now as well. So I do think Ethan Hooker, especially after 2027, is going to play a massive role in this team, whether it's at center, whether it's at wing, whether it's a hybrid position like Andre Esterhuizen as well. He will play a massive role in the squad going forward. I think this year there are other guys that can fill that position, which probably were the first choice anyway. So there is a lot of guys injured, but there's a lot of guys that can cover those positions, which is why, honestly, in my opinion, it's not a crisis right now. It's a good opportunity. It's good opportunity for the fans to get excited about some younger players, guys knocking down the door, playing some phenomenal rugby in the URC. I mean, Apelele Fasi's injured as well, but we have Damian Willems, we have Kieran Horn playing some good rugby as well. There's so many good young guys coming through. I mean, Untertoku, Mchunu, Andre Higufente is playing some good rugby now as well. Henku van Wyk in the center position. So what I'm trying to kind of send in this message, in this video, I know it's a bit all over the show, a lot of passion on the show here. The Springboks do not have a crisis. We'll only really figure out if there is a crisis if these guys do play and the Springboks start losing games like 2016 again. Now, do I think the Springboks are going to be undefeated this year? Probably not, just based on everything right now, the things I'm hearing from what the coaches might do, the way they might experiment. I'm pretty sure they won't be undefeated this year, and I won't be mad about it either. I'd rather go through this year, this entire season, trying guys out, giving guys good opportunities in some big games, and maybe losing them or maybe getting some close wins, rather than just playing the same group of guys that we've seen for the last 4 or 5 or even 6 years. That's just my thought process on it. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments if you agree, who you think could plug into these injury positions right now, who are some guys I maybe missed out on. But that's just what I think right now. It's not a crisis. It's a very, very good opportunity for some of these guys. I mean, Ruan Venter has been phenomenal this year. Cameron Hanekom, we know what he can do. Ulrich Lowe is honestly an experienced Springbok player already. Ruan Orkia could be the captain any given day. He might even be the captain one day if Siya Kolisi doesn't play this year. There's so many good players coming through. Paul de Villiers as well. There's so many good guys coming through, and there's so many guys that I think deserve an opportunity. But I will end this off by saying I think the greatest rivalry tour, the All Blacks vs South Africa tour, there shouldn't be guys getting tested there. I honestly think that should be the tour where we should go for 4 from 4 or 3 from 3. We should try win every single game there. That tour to me, I think to the Springboks as well, is very important to win. That rivalry, you don't mess around with that All Blacks rivalry. We've never messed around with that All Blacks rivalry. You can change a few guys, like if you start Sasha and Ngomazulu the one week, you can start Andre Pollard the next week. But I think for that rivalry tour, it's going to be the strongest 23 every week, the strongest 23 for that specific game. Maybe we will see a Ruan Venter on the bench, or a JJ van der Merwe on the bench, or a Untertoku Mchunu, who I think would be absolutely incredible in that series. But I don't think we'll see a whole overhaul of the team for that series. But for the England game, I'd like to see some guys get opportunities. For the Wales game, there definitely probably will be some guys getting opportunities. For the Scotland game, I'm not too sure. I think Scotland's a bit of a sneaky one that could honestly come and pull a result if we tried anything funny. But what I'm trying to say is there's also the end of the year tour where the Springbok players apparently might be sending a bit of a B team or a inexperienced team. That would be very fun to watch. And now for all the Springbok fans that are watching this saying, the Springboks are not going to lose, the Springboks are the base team because they're not going to lose, they're going to be undefeated. I'm a Springbok fan. I think that as well. But I wouldn't be mad if the Springboks, especially even at the end of the year for the end of year tour, after the greatest rivalry tour, if they just tried some new combinations out, some younger players, getting them some more game time, just to experience that level. I mean, I think one of the greatest tests for a Springbok team is going to Ireland and playing against Ireland in Dublin, or going to France and playing against France in Paris. Imagine we saw guys like a loose trio of Cameron Hanekom, Ivan Roos, Ulrich Lowe, with Ruan Venter at lock, with Ruan Orkia as well, with Untertoku Mchunu at prop, with Ambrose Papit at scrum off, with Sasha at 10, with Henku van Wyk at number 13. I think that would be really good for those younger players that are kind of building up the experience to get a good run out and to show what they have, because there is a few guys that could put up their hands and say, look, I'm the number one choice for the 2027 World Cup, not that guy. So the Springboks are in a very good place. It's not a crisis until they lose games, until they lose games badly. I think the Springboks are going to have a very good year. I think there's going to be a lot of guys putting their hands up for the World Cup next year. It's going to be very exciting. There will be a lot of guys coming back from injury as well. There will be more guys injured throughout the season as well. The coaches know what they're doing. It's going to be a very exciting season of rugby for the Springboks. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And if you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.